Welcome to week 12, March 17th through the 23rd. So this is March 18th. I'm working at Firehouse 4 this day and getting in a later in the evening workout just because that's how the day went. This is my approach jumps for the day. I was trying to touch my head to that bar. I needed something to kind of give me a gauge. And then we got into hang snatches, and I actually do a video, quick little recap video here in a minute that I'm going to let myself talk you through kind of how I felt. So I'm going to leave that in there and kind of just let you watch these squats, and then it'll get to me, and then we'll come back to some voiceover stuff. Man, so some quick thoughts as I finish here on this stationary bike. Man, it felt good to train today. Got it in late and just now finished. It's like 9 p.m., something like that. But a couple calls at the firehouse today. Had to get in after dinner. Kind of recapping this whole session before we go into it. Started with a good little warm up, a lot of rehab work for the low back and the groin. The groin's still giving me fits. So doing some stuff, some isometrics, some Cossack squats for back, did one-arm farmer's carries, some Jefferson curls, kind of a mix of a bunch of stuff. And then trying to bring back in and start evolving as I'm in this rehab phase, kind of these next couple weeks before I go to Jamaica. Nice. Come back from Jamaica and hopefully can hit the ground running 2 weeks before my first comp. So, gonna see what I can do. The groin's bothering me more than the low back. So in a week, low back's feeling good. I mean, it's still stiff and still bothers me here and there, but training wise felt great. Ended up doing some sprints for the first time, short sprints, some jumps starting out, then some hang snatches where when I went to the bottom of the hang, could feel the groin pull a little bit. So it's obviously, it's like weird. It's groin, hip flexor, and hamstring. So, then did some super high box squats. And it's like when I'm box squatting, it's like the pressure when I sit is what's hurting the groin. So I'm gonna try some free squats and see how that feels. But super high. I know it's super high. I'm not competing in powerlifting. I'm just trying to load the body, load the legs. I'm a thrower first, so I gotta remember that. And not worry about squat depth right now as long as I get healthy and trying to still push and load. So snatches felt good, moved pretty good. They were light. It was only like 75 kilos-ish. Squats and single leg RDLs and some more recovery work. A little bit of stationary bike at the end. So all in all, it was a very good, solid day. It's better than it's been the entire past week. So that's a win. A win's a win. I'll take it. Oh yeah, all my squats beltless too. Just trying to engage that whole core. So anyways, let's move on to the next. All right, so for Tuesday the 19th, we're at work at the firehouse, getting in some shot put throws, and so I'm trying some different stuff with these walking kind of middle throws and wheel drills. Actually finding out that, the groin was a little irritated in doing the stuff yesterday, specifically like the squats and a little bit, but actually it was going into this stuff. That rep, I almost fell over on myself. Trying to do some non-reverse stuff, but the groin gets kind of the most pissed off on the shot put. It doesn't, or the stone throw, the open stone throw. When I'm rotating, I guess it's the way that I pull that left leg around to the front. It irritates the left groin more than anything. even more than like the weights for distance. Now I'll feel it a little bit in the weights, but nowhere close to the level I feel it here. Maybe it's the speed and the effort, and or the not, the not being as fast in these. But once I get going, it feels fine. But then the day following this, the groin was really bad. So still a work in progress on this groin strain, and I'm wondering, and I've talked with PT and wondering if it's something different. But are we really going to go get like an MRI on it? Nah, probably not. So getting reps in and building that up, and then we move into the 20th Wednesday at a different firehouse. Start with some explosive push-ups, and then in between my bench sets, I was hitting this arch, this thoracic extension, trying to work on my thoracic extension here. Just kind of raised up on the foam roller there just to raise myself up where the bar is, and just using that bar as a lever point to kind of extend back over and work some thoracic extension. So always little ways you can get stuff in between your sets. And then we work up, and I'll kind of go ahead and talk forward through it. We had close grip bench today, 4 sets of 6 at 265. I think we just have one set in there. Then we threw the slingshot on for a set of 6 at 295, and all this has been moving fairly easy, nothing too hard, and moving pretty fast. And then we do a down set of 235, so roughly a little bit over, just about body weight at the time, for 18 reps. I've been playing with that rep out set as well. Had weighted pull-ups after this. We had 4 sets of 8, with a 20-pound vest. So not bad. I'd like to see myself do better. I got to get back my pull-up strength. I'd like to chase back down the 20 number I was trying to hit by the end of 2023, and I got to 18 and failed. So trying to push that back up. And then hit some random arm bull crap after that. And so here's your rep out set on bench press. Something a little different tonight is and things I have been doing is playing with a little bit more minimal equipment here and there, so no wrist wraps on the day. And obviously don't want to push and miss a rep. This is Thursday the 21st. You can still see always wet out, and this is kind of how I've been warming up on WOB, just some kind of 5 swings, kind of in high, out low, just kind of set it down, and then kind of just reset myself. And this is all it is. I kind of left it in full speed just so you can kind of see, do another set. Just kind of trying to get warmed up through the movement before we actually go into doing some throws with it. And then I'll move into throws today. And there was my first actual throw. So no bar today on WOB, just kind of getting the pulls in. Just trying to feel okay. It's one of those, like, after a night at work, sometimes I'm really not stoked. And kind of if I did in this video is I kind of just watched how high the weight goes on compared to the trees in the background. No idea how high it is, but hey, it was this throw higher than the other one. So just get a few reps in. I think it was like 5 or 6 reps, and then we move on to short chain heavyweight for the day. And always, you can see, obviously, there's a puddle of water in front of me. The first couple start out nice and slow, just making sure I feel my footing, feel it out. And I personally like the short chain. It's also a laziness factor, let's be honest. But a little bit laziness of it. If my shackle's messed up, which it is, and it needs pliers to fix it, and it's already set up as a WOB weight, I'll just throw it. I just like throwing different implements to force myself to get in the positions and generate force and power. And these actually moved really well today. And this is, like I mentioned in the week before, hitting some the drills. So this is the 1-turns after my full throws. This is trying to get more work. And I hate 1-turns. The more I do them, the more I hate them personally. I know this has been a big contention. A lot of people, oh man, chasing a big one there. But I know a lot of people do the 1-turn to build their 2-turn. And this is where I go nice and easy on my first with the lightweight. But personally, I'm not a big guy. So and on these lightweights, it's making sure the strap isn't sticking. I'm not a big guy, and doing the 1-turns is hard for me to get the weight started with the speed that I get when I do a 2-turn. And I just use my first turn as a rolling start into my 1-turn. So, or it really is what it is the first turn is a rolling start into the 2-turn, so I can kind of get the weight moving. So good, bad, or different, that's kind of an idea for myself, is I just can't get got to be careful here. And I think this is where I started to feel my groin a little bit. But anyways, yeah, throws. They're throws. They're throws on the day, getting the reps in early season, still doing some 1-turns in there, always trying different cues. Now, this is one that I don't think I ever did after this day, these single leg broad jumps. I like the idea of trying to generate the power off one leg, but the push and the land off the one leg really bothered the groin. This is going to be the last day I did them. So then we went out and did some flying 10s here. Oh yeah, Speedy Gonzalez. 6 reps is all it was. Full speed, 10 or 15 yard build up into a 10 yard full out sprint for 10 yards or 10 meters. Felt faster than I expected. Groin cooperated, etc. And then we worked at some front squats. So set up and worked to the straps. And what I'm doing here, and here's the top set at 275 on the day, no belt, is I'm just going until that I feel that groin start to irritate me. So it is, if you look at it close, it's about a half front squat. I can get away with it being a thrower, but hopefully over time I can start pushing that a little bit more. Did some down sets, some inverse curl, and what you're seeing here is an attempt at the Rogue Challenge, the Echo Bike 50 cal challenge. I had tested this and done really well on the test and thought I needed, and I removed my wind cover, but I'm 100% convinced now that my bike, this is my last day to do it. I was spent for an hour and a half after this. I was not able to complete this. I think my bike messed up. Levi was watching, trying to coach me on, but there was a point where it just, I know what my test went like and what other people hit, and I'm pretty convinced this bike did not do right. Because right here I stopped, I still had 10 calories to go, and I'm like, there's no way. So unfortunately I did not submit a score for the Rogue Challenge on that one. And I was spent for literally the next hour and a half. That was about the hardest I've ever gone all out. And it took me about 45 seconds and I was done. Friday the 22nd, I didn't video anything. I did some light push press. And this is Saturday the 23rd. So we had broad jump. It was working at about 7 feet, jumping to the 2 pads. So broad jump to a little bit of a box, quote unquote. And then smart on my end, started doing some prowler sprints. There's lower velocity and they don't bother my groin as much. And so then we moved into here's some hang cleans or hang power cleans. We had 5 sets of 4 at 90 kilos, which is what this is here. Hit some box squats, or really some back squats, excuse me. And then some random leg extension, leg curl, and actually some shoulder pump stuff that I didn't get in the day before. But all light stuff there at the very end. But this is how I decided to try to squat today to see how this went. So like I mentioned earlier with the box squats was bothering, it was sitting on something. So here was just a band as kind of a guide. Like I set the band up and lowered it down until I would not feel the groin.
We got this.
And yeah, so worked up to like 300 and then a couple down sets here and you'll kind of see them. And that's it for this week. Week 12's in the book. Working around this groin issue, getting there, figuring some stuff out, and getting excited to get rolling in the season. A little bit of a tweak, an adjustment in the program before I head to Jamaica. So next week is the last week before Jamaica. Thank you guys for following. If you watch all the way to the end, if you're not and you watch this far, please subscribe. Leave me some comments on thoughts, questions, etc., video ideas, etc. Don't